Hello, and welcome to Empower Hour topic sessions. Today, I want to talk about how to accelerate faster by giving yourself what you need. So, what do I mean when I say accelerate faster? We all have goals that we are working toward. Some of them are maybe small goals, some are maybe big. That's all relative, and according to your perspective, it could be career, it could be personal, could be relationships, making more money. It could be health and wellness, just elevating your state of mind and working to be more present and happier. Whatever the goal is, we all want to get there faster, right? So that's what I mean when I say accelerate faster. And when you learn to listen to yourself so that you can hear what you need and then give that to yourself, you are going to reach your goals faster. I'm sure many, if not all of you, have heard of the 1 degree rule. And that's talking about how when you make those subtle shifts in just the most what could be a very seemingly small way, you're going to drastically change where you are down the line, your direction and where you end up miles, years, weeks, months, whatever down the line. And so one of those simple shifts you can do is to accelerate faster towards your goals, whatever they are for you, is to really listen to yourself so that you can understand, uncover what it is you need, and then give that to yourself. And this very simple concept can be applied to all areas of your life, whether you are looking to change your career direction or go further faster in your current career trajectory, or if you want to improve your personal relationships, and or if you just want to feel happier and elevate your state of mind. And also, learning to give yourself what you need can pick you up when you are feeling down faster. Life is filled with ups and downs, and that's part of what I'm going to talk about today, and definitely what inspired what I wanted to talk about here today. So we'll get to that in a little bit. And as always, I'll share specific examples and stories to help lock in the message. So first, let's talk about career. How can you accelerate faster by learning to listen to yourself and then give yourself what it is you need? So I do some one-on-one coaching for professionals in helping them achieve their bigger goals, career or otherwise. And once I was talking with a client, and we were just starting our work together. And so he was ready to soon be making a change in his career direction. And he was talking about an opportunity that was sort of like low-hanging fruit. This is an obvious next direction that is kind of already set up for me if I want to go in this direction. And in listening to him talk about this opportunity, in air quotes, because an opportunity that you don't want is not an opportunity. And that's exactly what I told him, because in listening to him talk about this opportunity, his energy was completely sinking. And one thing I like to remind folks of is consider, when you're trying to figure out which direction, how you feel around that thing, that direction, that idea. Is your energy sinking or is your heart soaring? And I also like to say you want to lead with what lights you up. Whatever excites you, there's a reason for that. Not everything is meant for everyone. If it were, life would be pretty boring and there would be no opportunities because we'd all be aiming for the same thing. If something excites you, there's a reason for that. And if something depletes your energy, there's a reason for that too. So in paying attention to your emotions, you can better give yourself what you need. So in that example, career example, I told my client, an opportunity that you don't want is not an opportunity. So listen to yourself and just don't even consider that. That's not an opportunity. Take it off the table, because what we focus on, good or bad, expands. The more you focus on something, you're going to go in that direction. And then that direction is time and energy taken away from discovering what is the right direction for you. So you want to get back to trusting your instincts, something that we all innately have. And when we're feeling out of alignment or uncertain of our direction, career or otherwise, it's likely because we're not listening to our instincts. So I helped him to quickly shut that opportunity down and take it off the table. And in that helped him accelerate faster to discovering what it was he really wanted. And then we quickly got on track with that and made some faster traction. So that's an example of, all of the examples that I'm going to give in this talk about today about how giving yourself what you need can help you accelerate faster. It's all dealing with just listening to yourself and paying attention to your emotions and how you are feeling. So this next one is a personal relationship example. And this is just, this is one of a story from my personal experience. And this is just relationships as far as surrounding yourself with people with whom you align, and letting your emotions guide you toward the right people with whom you align. Because when we surround ourselves with people with whom we don't align, it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that they're not for us. And when we're not listening to our instincts, our emotions that are letting us know, you know what, I don't really feel connected here, we're not going to feel good. And the deeper reason why it feels really bad to spend time around people with whom we don't align, we don't connect, that don't really get us, is because we're actually denying ourselves. We're not listening to and then giving ourselves what it is we need. We're thinking, well, they think that I should be adaptable and spend time doing this thing that they want at this time during the day. I'm being super vague now because don't want to come out and say the exact specific event. So I'll just say this. I got invited to a gathering a while back, and if I were being honest with myself, listening to myself, the truth was that I did not want to go at all, because it was at a time of day that I like to focus on my goals. And that is what makes me feel good. And I knew I didn't want to go, but I had been pressured by this individual before that I should go, that I should be more adaptable. And that didn't really sit well with me, because that would be like me saying, well, you should adjust to me and my schedule, which I wouldn't ever do that. I think that we should all do what feels good to us. And then, we're going to be happy. Anyhow, I didn't listen to my instincts. They were there speaking up loud and clear, saying, you know what, you don't want to go, just say you're not going to be able to make it. But instead I went. I had a terrible time. I didn't connect with any of the people there, and the conversations were not enjoyable for me. And so I spent all of this time that afternoon around people with whom I didn't connect. And that doesn't feel good. As humans, that is one thing we all have in common. We need connection, and we're not going to have it with everyone. But the best way to find that is to be yourself, to listen to yourself, to honor what it is you need. And then in being yourself, the people with whom you align can see the real you. When we are kind of pretending or pretending like we fit in, or going along with trying to fit in people with that, we don't really fit with, it's like trying to squeeze ourselves inside a box, that doesn't quite fit. One, is going to be uncomfortable, and we're not broadcasting the real us. It'd be like putting a false title on your resume and then wondering why the opportunities that you want are not showing up. You're not being the real you. So I learned from that experience. So how not listening to and giving myself what I need did not help me accelerate faster. It instead held me back, because then I was in a low energy, and I had to do extra work to pick myself back up and just work harder to get back to my normal, happy, elevated state. Whereas if I had listened to myself, to give myself what I need and said, no, thank you, I would have accelerated faster, because I would have gotten more done, focusing on the things that are important to me, and I would have felt happier. And then vibrating in that more elevated state of mind, I'm going to naturally attract more people and opportunities with whom I align. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's an example on how you can accelerate faster by listening to yourself with personal relationships. When you honor yourself, what it is you need, when you're honest with yourself, this feels good, this doesn't feel good. Again, lead with what lights you up. Is your energy sinking, or is your heart soaring? When I thought about spending my afternoon partaking in that invitation, my energy sank. I ignored that. I did it anyway. And I didn't have a good time. And then I had to work harder to get myself back, elevated again. Another way that giving yourself what you need can help you accelerate faster is in when we have those times when we're we're having a challenging time. Life, again, I shared before, we all know life is filled with ups and downs. With great love and connection sometimes comes great loss. With those times that we have exciting opportunities and things going on and lots of momentum, we have other times where there's more of a lull and there's nothing going on and we're ready for the next thing. So this is what inspired another personal story experience that inspired this topic today. So I lost someone very special to me last week, and he's the most special, important person in the world to me, and lots of special people to me and relationships that I have. But we have a connection that I just know I'm not going to have that connection again. I do have it because he's still with me. But anyhow, so I've been experiencing some really low times. I even started to have anxiety again yesterday, which that was something I struggled with over 20 years ago that I've gotten through, and I'm much stronger now. So I knew to just, breathe through it. But I thought, oh my goodness, this feeling again. But I quickly got through it. So anyway, my point is, it's been a challenging week last week, and then spilling over into this week. So not to keep you guys in suspense, I did lose my grandfather, and we're just really, really tight. He gets me. I talked about human connection and how we all need human connection, not with everybody, but with somebody. And I really have that with my grandfather. He has just given me unconditional love since I've been here. And he understands me, and we don't always agree. We have had heated arguments, but doesn't mean we love each other any less. We agree to disagree and then move past it. And that is what keeps us close and connected, because we understand each other, even if we're disagreeing. And that's hard to come by. So anyway, it's been a super challenging week, and I've been, crying like every day, all day for a lot of days now. And yesterday was particularly challenging. And today I feel much different. I still cried today, and I'm sure I'll cry again later. But how I got myself in a state where I'm back doing the things that are important to me, like being able to have this talk right now, was by listening to myself. So yesterday I was having a challenging day, and something told me to reach out to a few people, 4 people in particular, that each helped me in a different way by sharing something with me that kind of helped me get myself back up to my normal state of, happiness and feeling good. So just something as simple as listening to, I'm going to reach out to this person, because I was kind of dealing with it on my own, because a lot of times that's what I need. And I listen to what I need and I give myself that. And in that way, I'm honoring myself and I feel better faster. But yesterday that wasn't working. And just by listening to myself and saying, for whatever reason, I feel like reaching out to this person. And one was my great uncle, and one was my grandpa's best friend. And I met him last week at the hospital. He came to visit, and I'm so grateful for that connection, because we're staying in touch now. And he's going to be able to share a lot of stories with me and help keep me feeling close to my grandpa. And I let him know how I was feeling. And he gave me a piece of advice that he said my grandfather gave him years back. And so he was able to pass that along to me. And it was basically like my grandfather giving me advice. It was amazing. And then I reached out to one of my cousins, and it's just nice to have, warmth and caring from a family member. And then one of my close friends who's also dealt with a lot of loss this year. And so in their own way, each of them was able to share their perspective with me. And it really helped me to feel so much better. So just by listening, that's an example of how by listening to myself, just that little thing, sometimes we get ideas. I mean, lots of times we're getting ideas, but there's a pivotal moment after you get your idea. What do you do in that moment? Do you take action? Do you reach out to that person? Something tells you, I want to call this person. I feel like connecting with them, or I don't really know them, but I'm following their career and I want to do what they're doing, or I think maybe I do. I would like to pick their brain. I've had people call me before, a friend of mine who, more like an acquaintance, was curious about recruiting. And so she reached out to me to ask me some questions. Now she's recruiting. That was her following her instincts. So, but a lot of times that pivotal moment, oh, I have this idea, this thing that I'm curious about, this thing that I'm excited about, but it's probably not going to work out. I don't even want to go there. They might not talk with me. They might not respond. They might think my idea is dumb. They might think I can't do it. We let our focus go down the wrong side of the domino effect, go down a negative rabbit hole. But you're getting that idea for a reason. And it could be just as seemingly small and seemingly insignificant, like the examples I gave. Let me reach out to this person. But that you want to pay attention, take heed. When you get those ideas, take action, because that's your intuition, which speaks to you through your emotions. So that's another way that you can lead, excuse me, with what lights you up. When you get something, an idea, something that you're curious about exploring, take action. That's going to take you in the right direction. And then you're going to get your next step. So that's how you accelerate faster. When you don't take action, when you don't pay attention to your emotions, what you need, what excites you, what makes you curious, what makes you feel bad. I like to also say that life is like a maze. Sometimes when we're pushing and just beating our head up against a wall, it's not working because it's not supposed to. And how is that making you feel? Is it making you feel frustrated? Or is, sometimes things are a challenge, a good challenge. We're pushing through and we're making progress. So you want to pay attention to how you're feeling and let that guide dictate your direction. And then that's going to help you keep accelerating faster because you will be in alignment. So hope that helps. A quick recap, how you can accelerate faster by paying attention to and then giving yourself what you need. You want to pay attention to your emotions and then let them guide you in the right direction. And that can help you in figuring out your career direction, in working toward achieving those bigger goals, in feeling better faster, and in overall keeping yourself at a more elevated state of mind. So pay attention to your emotions. It's something that you already know how to do. Just a lot of times if we're feeling unhappy or out of alignment or stuck, we're not listening. So I hope that helped, and I will see you guys next week.